Welcome back. So, we are starting the newest experiment. We're going to go from axe, going to put the axe together. So I have an axe head soaking in vinegar. We're going to have to clean it up, get some oil on it, neutralize that before we continue. But what we want to do is take an axe, start with it, going to put the head on, and next we're going to forge a pot holder for a fire. Axes for the firewood. But we're going to start with it tonight. The haft broke the other day. It was an old axe, an old haft. So we're going to put a new handle on it, and then that'll be tonight. Get it cleaned up, get it going, and then we're going to forge out the pot holder. Get the forge, the anvil, we'll get it going up, get all the black powder stuff cleared out of the shed before we start a fire. And then after that, after we get the cap holder, we're going to forge a few S-hooks and set it up over a campfire and melt lead, clean off the dross, flux the lead, get it clean, and cast our own 454 round balls. I have a mold coming. So yeah, we're going to go from putting the axe together, making the actual pot holder, getting the wood, doing all that, casting the round balls, loading the round balls into cartridges, black powder cartridges, and shooting them. Eventually, I would like to make my own propellant, but that's a little later on. I don't want to have to get a mill and do all that. Not currently. So we're going to put this axe head on. I have it soaking over here in vinegar. Ignore the mess. So I'm going to dry it off, and we're going to throw it in the vise and hit it. I probably bought this 6 years ago, and the haft it was actually on is out in the woods. It broke on me the other day, taking my little boy camping, trying to cut some firewood, and it snapped. So that was no fun. So it's filthy, and it's got several coats of spray paint. Eventually I'll wire wheel it, but tonight we are going to clean it off, get some oil on it. Probably should throw a rag on a cleaning rod, stick it in there. But I'm just going to wipe this down. So yeah, we're going to start off with this video. I'm going to make this all one piece, so you won't have to hop back and forth. May try to figure out how to do some commentary and put over top of it. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, I think it would be interesting to start from cutting the wood, putting the axe head on the haft, going out, cutting the wood, making the pot holder, forging it. We're going to forge out a simple pot holder. I am no professional blacksmith. I'm a wannabe everything. Wannabe smith, wannabe gunsmith. There's a lot of things that I have dipped my hat into. Jack of some trades, master of absolutely none. Thankfully I've been gifted a lead pot, and I actually have an electric lead pot I picked up the other day at a place called Arc Tactical in Richmond, Kentucky. Check them out. Picked up a lead pot, and it's an electric one. I haven't tested it yet. That'll be neat. That'll be fun, but I really want to try it like this. I want to get into black powder muzzle loading, all of that. I think I got this thing almost as dry as I'm going to get it. I like to get into black powder muzzle loading, and it's actually kind of hard to find a 54 caliber muzzle loader rifle. I have the 1858. Oh yeah, one of the reasons that I haven't been posting any, well, by the time this video comes up, the gun should be fixed. But the 1873 Uberti Cattleman Ombre Colt clone, the bolt spring finally snapped. I was giving it a good clean the other night after shooting a bunch of black powder. It was really bad, and I was practicing triple shot, all that, and finally pulled the hammer back, and as the hand pushed up, spun the cylinder, it kept going. So I was like, what's happening? Well, the bolt wasn't coming up. Took it apart. I was like, man, I've finally destroyed this thing. Went too hard on it. It is a fanable gun, but you know, as Tuco says, you know, he's the one that showed really anybody, if you're on his website, how to do this stuff. It's a lot thinner. It's not a full-blown race gun. So I was like, man, I finally broke it. I sheared the bolt off, but put it together several times. I should probably put a rag around that, but oh well. Put it back together, flipped the spring around, couldn't figure out. Then I finally realized the spring just wasn't putting enough tension on the bolt. Took the spring out, actually have it right here. So this is a Colt bolt spring. Stick it together, you can see it. So that is the bolt spring. You can see it there. So I was like, well, it looks fine. And then I pushed it a little bit and it snapped. So I was like, that's it. Thankfully, that's it. That is a known issue with those bolt springs. This thing is filthy. I'm gonna get dirt everywhere. Use my wire brush. Took a break from forging. Usually use this wire brush to knock scale off, and I used it to clean my boots with, and now it's still dirty. So this is how you know this piece is all fresh. So just gonna wire brush it. I'm not too worried about knocking all of that off. That's real filthy. That's awesome. Let's move this. I don't know how good you're seeing anything. I think I'm cleaning the wire brush better than I'm cleaning the axe head. No, it's not off. So I was wanting to get this thing on the haft, and I was going to leave it how it is, but I was like, man, I've took the bluing off 2 revolvers so far with just a vinegar bath, so surely it would work. The vinegar's filthy. I'm probably going to throw that out and get a new gallon before I do anything else with it. I'm also out of guns to take the bluing off of, which the Cattleman wasn't blued. It was some ugly Parkerized something finish on the ombre. I think the Uberti Cattleman, the standard, is blued, but this one isn't. The ombre has some weird matte finish. It doesn't look bad, but I like the way the steel looks, the straight gun steel. So I went ahead and done that. Some of the metal shining through. Wish I had a wire wheel. I got a bench grinder, belt grinder, angle grinder over here, but no wire wheel. For whatever reason, this thing really needs refaced. A lot of its edges are pretty beat up. So we'll do this, coat it in oil. The pitting's really bad, so it's going to have a lot of drag on it. I don't know anything about axes. I don't even know if I've watched a video. I'm sure I've seen some people put handles on axes and stuff, but I bought the handle, probably the wrong handle, but I bought it, the wedge, and one of the round wedge holders. I'm not sure what they're called, but we're going to try to put it on. My boy, he'll be 3 soon, and he wanted to go camping and roast marshmallows. So we made a little fire pit, little fire area, and so I was like, I've always wanted to do the more primitive camping style stuff, so I'm trying to teach myself how to use a flint and steel, not flint and steel, a ferro rod steel, a lot easier than a flint, but still neat. harder than a Bic lighter. Trying to do that, and I was like, why not? I'm wanting to get into bullet casting anyway, and I like shooting the round balls out of the 73. I think the round itself looks cool. They shoot really soft. They're fun. They're cheap. I have a lot of lead. Why not do a start to finish bullet craft, bushcraft, out in the woods with a mold, a bucket of water, and lead, and then bring you guys with me, and then load it up and try to triple shot it. I think that'd be pretty cool. Then eventually, you know, if I could make my own powder, that would be even better. Let's take this out of here and take a look. I don't know. You can see the ugly red. I may take some sandpaper to that real quick. And a wire wheel to make short work of this. Let's flip it. I'm gonna have to take the shop vac to the bench. This is where I do my reloading, so all of the powder and everything is in a sealed container, an air sealed container, and nothing important. My shot shells. Why is that? Oh, this is so. In the 73, I'll do that. Just talk while I'm sanding this thing. Probably need to talk a little louder so you can hear me. In the 1873, I finally had my first experience with leading. Shot a bunch of rounds for one of the videos. Come in, and I enjoy cleaning the guns. That's one of the reasons I enjoy black powder, is because I don't mind cleaning it. And if you don't mind cleaning your guns, then you can shoot all the black powder you want, because you know you're going to do it anyway. So while I was cleaning it, you know, black powder's hard on the bore, you know, the fouling and everything, and I keep wads in the cartridges themselves, but with the round balls, you know, there's no lube groove or anything, so you're kind of just got a ball and a felt wad in there and hoping for the best. So you're gonna have leading, and I've seen people talk about it, but I never experienced it because most of my experiences are with copper jacketed bullets, you know, and smokeless powder. Which even then you can get leading. It's, you know, any type of metal fouling in the barrel. So I scrubbed and brushed and solvent after solvent, and man, the barrel wasn't getting clean. And at first my first thoughts weren't leading. My first thoughts was like, oh, you dummy, one of these rounds is loaded wrong and you've gouged, you know, the barrel. But I finally got to thinking, lead's way softer than steel in this barrel. It's not going to do anything to that. And I was like, oh no, with the vinegar bath, you didn't neutralize it properly, and the vinegar's ate through the steel. That's not it. After a while, it started to break up. Then I think it was a Hickok 45 video, or somewhere else, they said shoot a normal copper jacketed, and I still have some normal 45 Colt rounds. I think, what are these? Fiocchi Cowboy 45 Colt. And shoot those through those. Any Parkerized or powder coated bullet or copper jacketed bullet, and it'll help clear out the fouling. Shoot 2 or 3 of those. So I shot 2 through it, and lo and behold, a lot of the leading came out. Not all of it, still got a little work to do, but I'd say if I put another round through it, it would all come out. So if you got a leading problem, just keep some normal jacketed bullets around, you know, or hand load them. You know, I'd like to load some FXTs or whatever they are, Hornadies, for some carry rounds. I think that's what we're going to do tonight. I think I'm going to throw some oil on there. I may take the Dremel, actually. You see the side of my head. And try it for a moment. Just to clear out this mouth in here. No, I'll do a round file. Round file over there. I won't be able to reach all the way with that anyway. This. Yeah. Get back. I'm not really worried about damaging the jaws of this. I need to make copper and leather inserts for these jaws, because I do these with blacksmithing too. Use this. I don't have a blacksmith's vise yet, so I use this and these hard steel jaws are not very fun for the project. They leave pretty good gouges. I just want to knock that rough down. Switch to I'm sure there's some of you that are forestry experts. Wrangler Star would be so mad at me right now. Yeah, they've seen me do this. See how red my forehead is? I've got in the sun all day. This wonderful hot fall day. It's miserable. I'm ready for snow. I want snow and I want cold weather. It's my time of year. That's what I enjoy. This looks a lot better. It's still got that ugly paint, but we'll get a wire brush and knock the rest of that down. This video is getting a little long now. Bore you to death. So yeah, expect to see that. I'll try to get the handle on this before we reach the 20-minute mark. We'll see if we can do that. I'll drop some gun oil. I don't have any linseed oil or anything, but gun oil should be fine. This shop is a wreck, and it's about to drive me insane. I hate having, which I kind of cut myself a little slack. This is the family storage slash dad's workshop is what this is. Yeah, which I'm completely fine with that. They let me do whatever I want out here. Make bullets, you know, threaten to detonate things at any given time. You know, with the lead loader, you're doing it with a hammer, the classic loader. So it's a little sketchy sometimes, and they let me get away with that. So I'll let them store some stuff out here. We'll call it even. Get this. At least a little bit of oil in there. Looks pretty good. All right. So I think, are you going to fit without me whittling you any? Yes. Sweet. Take my mallet. One of the 14. We'll try with the rubber mallet before we try with the brass. Give it a few love taps. Man, inertia. Let's try brass. Get a little more oomph behind it, like the Lee Classic loader. If you watch my first video ever, I was talking about that. How I think we're gonna have to do a little bit of whittling. No, it's coming up good. How the even with the classic loader, you're supposed to, even with case lube, be able to put it all together. I gouged it a little bit with a rubber mallet, and I could not seat those primers with that rubber mallet. It would occasionally go, but most of the time I had to get the brass. Get the brass mallet out and swing it away and away and away. I think I'm gonna have to knock this off, and we'll try it a little more. I don't know what I'm doing, clearly. It's going. Yeah, it's going. Maybe see if I can get it a little further and then knock it off and take some of it off. Yeah, let's try that. If I can. Probably can't, actually. No, it's on there pretty good. Looks like we're stuck. Oh no. I actually think that's fine. I think. I have to cut that wedge down. She's fine. It should be pretty nice. Not lose a finger. I promise. This is done by a semi-professional wannabe. That's right. I don't think I'm going to need that. Let's try to put this through there. If it don't work, then it don't work and we'll do it again. But should have got. Stuff won't fall. I think that'll work. Walk myself off camera. I'm sure that was absolutely deafening. I'm sure it's also not the right way to do it. But it's tight and you'll get to see if it fails. So that is the axe on the haft. Next time you'll see me out here at the forge. I have some, I think this is 1/4 inch round bar. 1/4 inch with a 3/8 round bar. And we're going to make the pot holder, the tripod. And then we'll get out to the campfire as soon as the bullet mold comes in. Melt some lead down, make some 4.54 round balls, and load them in some cartridges. Until next time, this is Wannabe Everything. Come back. We'll see you again.